general overview. I did a very nice demonstration of how iRIC works. And now it's your turn. So what we're going to do is we're going to now step through the pieces of that process. And you're going to do each one of those steps. So we're going to we'll start by talking about what the data requirements are. And then we'll talk about how you input data very briefly. And you'll do tutorial 1, exercise 1. So first, the data that's required for running iRIC is something we'll talk about. So basically, there's two kinds of information. There's data that you have to have, or required data, and there's data that you can have, but you don't have to have. And we'll talk a little bit about the differences between those two. So required data includes things like the bathymetry and topography of the system. You have to know the geometric description of the river. The second thing you need to know are boundary conditions. These could be stage, discharge, and roughness, depending on the model application. They can also include some time series of discharge. There's also physical parameters. For example, if you're doing a sediment transport calculation, you need to know the size of the material. And there's some numerical parameters for the different models that have to be set as well. All those things are required information. And you'll become familiar with those as you actually go through the modeling process. The kind of data that isn't required, but that is nice to have, the ancillary data, could be things like grain size or verification data. Verification data could be water surface elevation measurements for comparing, as Rich just showed you in the demonstration. Or you can have ADCP measurements. ADCP cross-section of velocity. You can compare those to model results within the interface. So the important thing to remember is that ancillary data is not something you have to run the model, but it's very important for verification and for adjusting roughness if you don't have some other physical measurement.